Well, you see, it isn't all just playing solitaire in the middle of the night. Anyway, here we are, wide awake again, in the middle of the night. What do you mean, we? I wasn't talking to you. So you were talking to yourself? No, I was talking to the viewer, out there. Well, that's a relief. Not that I care, but why? Well, if the viewer is out there, at least then I don't have to look at you. Well, maybe we can look at this instead.
So what's this song about?
Oh, about 3.5 minutes.
It's a perfect song for a party, and everything's in place. And everyone knows that tonight's the night, and you're going to knock 'em dead. The beat is nice and strong as everyone dances along, and the production reminds you of another band that you're playing back in your head. But the voice in the song is singing to you, hoping some meaning will come on through. The voice in the song is speaking to you while you're thinking of something else. And everyone's feeling the energy, and the drinks are flowing free. And everyone knows as they make their move that tonight they're in the groove. It's the soundtrack of your life, or the part you'll remember tomorrow. Regardless of reason or rhyme, it's the background music to a good time. But the voice in the song is singing to you, hoping some meaning will come on through. The voice in the song is speaking to you while you're thinking of other things.
The music's okay. It's got the techno, little bit of jazz. And do I detect a touch of Pink Floyd?
Your party came off so well, and everyone had a ball. And the band is packing for their next big gig, and the composer never lived at all. But the voice in the song is singing to you, hoping some meaning will come on through. The voice in the song is speaking to you while you're thinking of nothing at all.
What? That bit at the end? Forget it! I hate it when some writer ruins a song by trying to say something.
Embarrassment can take on many forms. For some people, it's their childhood. For others, their adolescence. Then there's the midlife crisis and the ravages of age. But all of these are still better than having anything to do with Oti and Mashi.
Hey, Mashy,
What is it, Odie?
what do you want to do today?
I don't know. I'm feeling kind of strange.
What's the matter?
Well, someone posted my old yearbook photo on the internet.
Really? Let me take a look at it.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Wow, was that really you?
Yeah, I lost a lot of weight since then.
Let me see what else is on here. Hey, there's me.
Gee, you were a skinny kid.
Now, I've always been active, that's all.
I don't know. I still think youth is kind of embarrassing.
Try not to think about it.
Not to mention middle age.
What do you mean? We're in the prime of life.
It makes me wonder about the future.
You just gotta keep active. No loafing around.
Hey, here's an ad.
All of a sudden, I don't feel so good.
One way or another, you end up toast. Here's another song for the Moody Blues fans. It's a little oblique, but the right people will get it. I sometimes walk at night and I'm not going anywhere. It's just a thing that I seem to do. And the moon is shining bright, or it's cloudy, or else I just don't have a clue. But somewhere in my thoughts I find I'm waiting for a sound, and only one will do. Something new with mellotron, some drums, a flute, and a guitar or two. You know it's quite a thing to be alive and looking back from such a distant date. I always knew the future would arrive. I knew I only had to watch and wait. And deep inside my thoughts I find I'm searching for a sound, and only one will do. Something new with mellotron, some drums, a flute, and a guitar or two. 'Cause when you're in the middle of the night and all is quiet and you're all alone, and no one's singing songs for you, there's nothing left to do except to make your own. And deep inside my thoughts I find I'm searching for a sound, and only one will do. Something new with mellotron, some drums, a flute, and a guitar or two. And now it's time for some changes around here. Well, I guess the changes are a little late. Here's another Odie and Mashy.
Hey, Mashy,
What is it, Odie?
did you notice the new TV in the breakfast nook?
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Are you crazy? That stuff will rot your brain.
I don't know. Some of the shows are kind of interesting.
Like what? I got more brains than those stupid judges.
You mean the ones on the talent shows?
Nah, the ones on the judge shows. Heck, anyone can sit there and say, I am speaking, or he's an idiot.
Well, I like the nature shows.
Those give me the creeps, especially the ones that show cows and horses eating.
Well, I think some of them are kind of educational.
You're crazy. What kind of nature show would be educational to a bowl of mashed potatoes?
Well, I like the one about the little reptiles. I think they were called comedians.
Comedians? That's a bunch of losers standing up in front of a bunch of other losers.
Well, the ones I saw were these little lizards, and it was kind of educational.
You're nuts. Give me one example of something you learned from watching those lizards.
Well, did you ever notice how I never get eaten by the guy with the spoon?
Yeah, but I figured it was just because you're in bad taste.
Well, let me show you what I learned from those lizards. Well, what do you think?
I still think you're in bad taste.
Andy Warhol once said that in the future, everyone would be famous for 15 minutes. Well, I think Andy Warhol's future is now in the past. These days, it seems like everyone is just a talking head.
Shining
There was once a form of literature known as the shaggy dog story. In its original sense, it was an overly long story, protracted by irrelevant events, ending in an anticlimactic or pointless punchline. This next bit can best be described as a shaggy dog's song. You have been warned.
When all the flowers have blown away, it's such a bitter way to go, to feel my socks fill up with snow. I'm doomed to die in 18 days. When frosty nights have come to stay, it's such a sorry thing to see, this rubber banjo on my knee. I'm doomed to die in 17 days. Unless it's just a passing phase. I'm not just kidding, mark my words. This kind of verse is for the birds. I'm doomed to die in 16 days. I read somewhere crime does not pay. This verse is getting kind of random. I'm going to drop right out of fandom. I'm doomed to die in 15 days. The movie King Kong had Fay Wray. Although it's not her real name, she still was in it just the same. I'm doomed to die in 14 days. I still remember Willie Mays, not Billy May, the loud announcer. I never worked as a nightclub bouncer. I'm doomed to die in 13 days. Neil Young wrote my, hey, hey. A Cadillac's a kind of car. I can't get in the DAR. I'm doomed to die in just 12 days. I never swam in Frisco Bay. My raven won't say nevermore. He just leaves droppings on the floor. days. The Piltdown Man was just a hoax. A lot of people put pigs in pokes. I'm doomed to die in 10 more days. Always do what Mother says. Unless your name is Norman Bates, it might go badly for your dates. I'm doomed to die in 9 more days. Rutherford Burchard's name was Hayes. Lemonade Lucy was his wife. They led a rather temperate life. I'm doomed to die in 8 more days. The Yanks were blues, the Rebs were grays. Back in the time of the Civil War, they still disagree about what it was for. I'm doomed to die in 7 days. Holly G was a catchy phrase. When vaudevillians roamed the earth with antiquated bits of mirth. I'm doomed to die in 6 more days. Cows go into fields to graze. Shepherds watch their flocks by night. Fishermen try to get a bite. I'm doomed to die in 5 more days. There in the hen house a chicken lays. Up above, the sparrows fly. By the way, I'm doomed to die. I'm doomed to die in 4 more days. I wonder how much my big toe weighs. My final thoughts are full of doubt. When I turned on the hose, some water came out. I'm doomed to die in 3 more days. In winter, folks ride round in sleighs. The dog will bark, the duck will quack. I'd rather not sit on a tack. I'm doomed to die in 2 more days. The rooster crows, the horse just neighs. Far away, the coyotes call. Someone gave me a duckpin ball. I'm doomed to die in 1 more day. You say no way, but I say wait. jonquil is a kind of flower. A bumble is a kind of bee. If not, just cut some slack for me. I'm doomed to die at the end of this verse, fulfilling the prophecy's awful curse. And as I finish my final song, it looks like someone got it wrong. I was doomed to die some time ago. Pizzas made with pizza dough. Songs like this are made by folk. Unless it's me, then it's just a joke.
A lot of people complain that nothing really happens during the Odie and Mashy segments. To remedy this situation, the following 3 segments will be run consecutively to tell a kind of story. Okay, I admit it. Nobody mentions the Odie and Mashy segments at all. I'm not at all sure that this show even gets aired. Here goes, anyway.
Odie and Mashy, they're damp and cold. Odie and Mashy, their jokes are old. Soggy oatmeal and mashed potato, trying to act like they're Socrates and Plato. They don't do much, but they talk for free. And that's the way, they're just like you and me.
Hello, Mashy. We seem to have a visitor. Who is it, Odie? Why, it looks like Mr. Fork has returned. Uh-oh. Well, let's be fair and see what he has to say. Hello, Mr. Fork.
Hello, Odie. Hello, Mashy. I heard about the new invention.
You mean Odie's time machine?
Well, I heard about a time machine.
Yeah, Odie invented it.
Oh, I'm sure he thinks he did.
I think he did too. I helped him test it, and it worked.
That's great, but my associates and I had already completed and refined a much better version.
Well, how about that? That sounds very interesting. What kind of improvements did you all make?
Well, I couldn't help noticing that your last episode was a little bit lengthy.
Yup, I remember looking at the clock during the test. The time really went by.
Well, my associates have found a way to accelerate things.
You mean like a higher speed gear? That's wonderful. I'd been meaning to do that myself.
Well, it's not exactly a higher gear. It's more of a jumping application.
Gee, I don't know anything about jumping. I don't even walk.
Well, perhaps my associates can give you a demonstration. Here they are now.
They look very energetic. What do they call themselves?
The editors.
That's not like the eater, is it?
Who is this eater?
He's referring to the guy with the spoon.
Oh my goodness, no. Nothing to worry about there. My editors would never dig into anyone with such a blunt instrument.
That's nice to know. What do they do? Yes, you mentioned a demonstration. May we see it now?
Why, certainly. Are you ready, gentlemen? Well, you'll have to admit that certainly was effective.
Gee, where did the editors go?
Why, they left when they finished the demonstration.
That was quick. I think I understand. The editors just made a jump in time by cutting out the intervening events.
Something like that. You're very perceptive for a grain.
Why, thank you for saying so. During the demonstration, did they do anything else?
Why, whatever do you mean?
Well, I understand that they cut some things out. Did they also put anything in? Like a pat of butter? Or maybe raisins or maple syrup? Nothing like gravy, I hope.
No, no. No butter, no raisins, no maple syrup. Well, I'll just run along now. Ta-ta.
He certainly left in a hurry. Funny how he didn't say anything about gravy. Yeah, I kinda noticed that.
Odie and Mashy, their shows are lame. Odie and Mashy, they're all the same. Odie's answer and Mashy's question, guaranteed to give you indigestion. They don't do much, but they talk for free. And that's the way, they're just like you and me. Odie and Mashy, they're damp and cold. Odie and Mashy, their jokes are old. Soggy oatmeal and mashed potato, trying to act like they're Socrates and Plato. They don't do much, but they talk for free. And that's the way, they're just like you and me.
Hello, Mashy. We seem to have a visitor. Who is it, Odie? Why, it looks like Gritsy Grits has returned. Gee, that's great. Hi, Gritsy.
Nice to see you again, Mashy. No hard feelings?
No, I'm okay. I hear you got a new job.
Why, yes, I'm a media reporter now, interviewing the rich, the famous,
So, what brings you here?
and the failures.
Failures? I thought you were here about my new invention.
No, I was sent by Mr. Fork to get your reaction to losing control of your show.
Oh, that. We don't worry about it. We never had control of anything anyway.
Oh, I don't think Mr. Falk is going to be able to use that. He wants anger, or at least despair.
Sorry.
Well, how about if I refer to you as Mashy and Odie instead of Odie and Mashy?
Mashy, Odie, Mashy. It's all the same.
Well, what do you think of this?
Oh, that. He came by again yesterday. He came again this morning. But it's okay. I'm here now. You can get used to just about anything.
Well, there's nothing I can use here.
It's been nice seeing you, Gritsy.
I gotta get going. I got an exclusive interview with Mr. Cucumber.
Cucumber? The old magazine guy with the pictures of low-hanging fruit? I didn't know he was still alive.
Alive and pickled. And he recently had a very popular show. The Peaches Next Door.
But he's so old, and he's not even in their food group.
That may be, but he sure knows how to pick 'em.
I bet he wouldn't be famous if he didn't have all those peaches hanging around his pickle palace.
Maybe not, but you know what they say.
What do they say?
Fame is a pickle mistress.
I can't argue with that.
Why not?
I don't know how.
Why, some of the peaches have even started a show of their own. Let's make a deal.
That sounds kind of desperate.
Mr. Fork has been teaching me the value of a snappy one-liner.
Hang on, I think I got one. Desperation is the spice of all one-liners. I think you just proved it.
Oh my, it's really late. I better be on my way.
Aren't you gonna say goodnight, Gritsy?
This is Gritsy Grits signing off for the Fork Network.
I guess not. If George Burns was alive, he wouldn't be watching this show. Yep.
Odie and Mashy, their shows are lame. Odie and Mashy, they're all the same. Odie's answer and Mashy's question, guaranteed to give you indigestion. They don't do much, but they talk for free. And that's the way, they're just like you and me.
Hello, Mashy. How are you bearing up? I don't know, Odie. I don't seem to be quite myself lately. Well, you probably never were. But I always liked that about you. Gee, thanks, Odie. It looks like the network has had another round of budget cuts. Yep. I guess things are tough all over. I hear that it's getting hard for Mr. Fork to keep up his fleet of yachts. He might even have to lay off his assistant's assistant. I don't think it's quite that bad, but they might have to contribute $1 toward their health coverage. Gee, I wish we had health coverage. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about you. You don't look so good. Really? Yeah, you look kind of drawn. The funny thing is, the more cuts Mr. Fork and his editors make, the less money there seems to be left over. Well, we're artists. We just don't understand finance. I don't understand art either. Remember when I had that dream sequence? That was almost like a regular production. Special music, animated star fields, that big explosion sound effect. Or that thunderstorm sequence during my time machine sketch. Those were good times. Yeah, but that was before Mr. Fork took over. Oh well, at least he gave Gritsy a nice job. Not to mention her own wardrobe. Yeah, a golden bowl, diamond jewelry, a silver spoon with no hands attached.
And a pink slip.
What? Who are you?
I'm Buster Budget. I'm your friend from finance.
I didn't know we had any friends anywhere.
I know. I've been keeping track of your view numbers.
Our view numbers?
Yes, I count the number of times your shows get viewed. I've got good news and bad news.
What's the good news?
Well, you haven't been offending anybody.
What's the bad news?
Gritsy's pink slip.
It doesn't fit?
No, it fits perfectly. Fits her situation, that is. She's been laid off.
Isn't there anything we can do?
Well, once again, I've got good news and bad news.
Okay, this time give us the bad news first. What can we do?
Nothing.
Then what's the good news?
That doing nothing is what will save you.
How does that work?
It's like this. Your viewership is so low that Mr. Fork can't afford to keep you. He's going to have to set you free.
So we can go back to doing our shows our own way?
Why not? Nobody cares one way or another.
Can we bring Gritsy back?
Sure. She's under no obligation to Mr. Fork since he sacked her.
How can we thank you?
You don't have to. I didn't do anything. All I'm doing is telling you what's already happened.
I still don't understand finance. Is there any lesson we can learn?
Just this. Know when you're lucky.
Too many fans can drag an artist down. Too many groupies spread the gossip all around the town. Too much money makes everyone put their hand in your pocket. Know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky. Too much time can make you fool around. Know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky. Too much fame and people start to tear you down. Know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky. Too much popularity makes the public scream for more. Know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky. So when I walk down the street, everybody leaves me alone. Know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky. And when I get home, there aren't a lot of messages on the phone. No. And the evening news isn't telling what I did today. Know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky. And all in all, I wouldn't have it any other way. Know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky. No one's telling me I need to sing more. Know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky. I do the things I like and let them pick and choose. Know when you're lucky. My freedom lies entirely in my sweet obscurity. Know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky, know when you're lucky. And I know I'm lucky. You're lucky, know when 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 you're lucky.
Kitsch is an interesting word. It usually refers to art or design that often uses popular or cultural icons in a lowbrow style. It is usually gaudy or otherwise in poor taste, but it is nonetheless often appreciated in an ironic way. Well, there's kitsch and then there's kitsch. And somewhere at the very bottom of the heap, there's magic ball.
Magic ball, oh you can hear it. Magic ball is such a thing. Magic ball could be classic spirit on a string. Magic ball is an enigma. Magic ball is what I found. Magic ball is what I noticed lying there upon the ground. Throw it down, it bounces up. Throw it up, it bounces down. Maybe it is made of plastic. Maybe it's a kind of foam string. It's on my feet, elastic. Maybe you've got one at home. Throw it down, it bounces up. Throw it up, it bounces down. Magic ball is quite confusing. Ball on string and string on stick. No one knows its secret purpose. No one knows what makes it tick. Now I hide it high up in the sky. Now it's coming down again. Oh my. Magic ball is kind of cheesy. Magic ball is kind of strange. Magic ball is pretty easy. Both the guy who gets in range. Now I give it unto you, my friend. Now I yank it back away again. Magic ball, no, you can't have it. Now it's gone, no, here it is. Deep blue waters make it soggy. Ginger ale might make it fizz. Throw it down, it bounces up. Throw it up, it bounces down. Magic ball might be from Venus. Magic ball might be alive. Now I see it in the window. Sells for $19.95. Now the strange enchantment starts to fall. So I release my hand and let it fall. The end of my involvement with magic ball.
I was watching the Arts Channel late one night, and it occurred to me that there should be a stately pavan about slapstick and pie throwing. It was at night, so it really should have been a nocturne. So I decided to call it Nocturne. It may not be great music, but it's got a killer cast.
Many use this mystic ballet, and they still speak to you. Men like Mr. Lloyd and Mr. Landon too showed us what is new is old, and what is old is new. Miss Dressler and Miss Normand, Miss Fitz and young Miss Todd also shared the wizardry of odd. Now you see him, now you don't, Arbuckle is gone. Look again and you will find that Betty still lives on. Now the market wavers and it seems the world is going mad. Charlatans and posers rant as though the world is turning bad. But take another look and you will surely rediscover life is more amusing than you think.
Well, that wraps up another show. Are we going to thank anyone this time? We should probably thank everyone at AIM. Yes, after all, this show was produced through the facilities of Arlington Independent Media. Part of it, anyway. That's true. We can't lie. I don't know about that. For one person pretending to be two people, we're doing a pretty good job. Stop talking to yourself and go to sleep.